Praetor, Mina, Praetor, Chaugnar, Malok, and Zephys for the side of SK.
Yeah, it does look like SK is going to stay a little bit on the defensive end, at least in the beginning of this game, because, well, other than that, Nico actually does go for a kind of invader pull, annoyance invade, so to say.
Yeah, it's pretty always wise to try and set them back a little bit. Nice interaction here. We've got Flow, we've got Zenial and Malok being switched with which teams they were on. So now the advantage will go to the side of Vitality when it comes to that split lane pressure. Like you correctly just said, Violet is actually with that punish.
Yeah, this is what we saw a lot in the Thailand Pro League, is that they like to run AD carries in the jungle rather than the solo lane, because this opens up a whole lane of farm to them, which is basically uncontested. You're really safe in the jungle role, and Violet is able to do those jungle rotations really quickly. And you just accumulate a lot of experience as well as gold, and it's going to pay out in the long run.
Well, this is exactly what they did with Lindis last game. They're just doing it with Violet instead, who's, I think, a better all-round marksman than Lindis. Sutaro going very aggressive onto light. It's Chaugnar, though. He's one beefy elephant. He's not going down that easy.
Yeah, but he's being forced back, which means Sutaro is going to have a whole lot of room to work with. If he wants to push a tower or even rotate, now's the time.
I don't think he'll rotate just that. Like you said, the roams with Wonder Woman really come into their own post level 4, and he's not quite hit that just yet. But he's going to look around, I think, just get that Seagull, or no, he's actually going to go straight up and try and head up to the top lane, because there's a bit of an engagement going on.
Yeah, SK is going to take this one. Peach is going to be forced back. Nico's going to put the pull through, but Moon's going to be there. And Nico is in a lot of trouble. There's the charge from Thane, and they're going to go down flow to pick up the kill. Redemption's there as well. As we see, Vex is not level 4 yet, so SK is not ready to tank this fight.
No, and they're going to go onto the Spirit Sentinel on their way back down through the mid lane. Abyssal Dragon's definitely on the menu for Vitality after that. So far, so good for them. Much better early game. They've actually got some kind of advantage or some kind of lead at the beginning of this map.
Mind you, the Team Vitality actually did get first blood in the last game as well, if you remember. We did jump in late, but they got the first blood. So Vitality, it could be repeat performance. It's not looking like it right now, but it potentially could be.
It just seems a lot more controlled by both teams at the moment. Not as chaotic as we saw in the early game, which I actually think the more controlled game style plays into the hands of Team Vitality rather than SK Gaming. We said they've made improvements on how they're playing the game, but they are still sloppy at times, so having it controlled on the Vitality is always to the advantage. That being said, they did just give up an Abyssal Dragon for free.
Yeah, Vitality is going to take this fight now. Toxic Gas Bomb is going to push back Azure, but the charge is going to place him back. Moon's taking a lot of damage. There's the shock, but Moon did use the endurance. He's going to be on their run. Vitality is going to take this fight because Zenial did jump in. Flow is on the backline as well. He's trying to find Nico. He can't. Malice away is going to put him to safety. Redemption and Sutaro are chasing the SK backline, but the Void Cleanse is going to prevent the pullback from happening. Sutaro's in a lot of trouble, and he's back to the graveyard, coming from base back into action.
And that's equalized the gold scores for both teams, sound around 7.1, 7.2. Those additional kills in the favor of SK have bolstered them up to be matching Vitality's gold. I did panic a little bit there in the fight because you left Sutaro and Redemption to go onto your backline for free while you were chasing, I believe you were chasing Moon and Azure down the river.
They were chasing Flow.
They were
the Genial.
They were chasing Zenial, sorry, my mistake. But still, you were leaving your backline exposed.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be doing stuff like that. They did realize and turn around, and they turned it to their advantage, but tied that up a little bit. You don't want to be putting those risks ahead.
Oh, well, it is looking repeat performance. We had exactly 3-2 scoreline in the last game as well, so it's looking bad for Vitality. Actually, never mind, they do get the kill, so it's looking good. All jokes aside here. But Vitality still have a little ways to go. Now, objective control is going to come in handy with that, for sure.
Yeah, keeping on top of these Spirit Sentinels is going to be great for them. You've got the Abyssal Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. They've already made a fair chunk of damage on that top lane tower. Nico going aggressive. I don't believe he actually picked up that Spirit Sentinel there.
I think Redemption did get it with the tactical fire there. We have an ultimate coming in from Flow as he's going to be a short range 1 Vex. He's going to take the fight in the upside. He's going to put down the Spectre, sorry, there, but he's going to only get a little bit of trouble because SK have lost a member. They cannot take this fight. Pinch's ultimate was used, but to no avail because SK has already lost a member.
Yeah, when you try and do the divide fights, I mean, he divided Redemption from the rest of the team, but he didn't attack Redemption. He wasn't in position to capitalize on it. He's not got the damage of his own just yet. So using the ultimate to break up the fight, but nothing to really capitalize. And now Vitality, I reckon they're going to do a pass through their jungle, start heading to the bottom side of the map. That Abyssal Dragon, that's there. It's calling their name. They've got to be proactive and actually make an effort to get it this time around, though, as Azure in that mid lane will get taken out. It's actually Light picks up the kill. It looked like Praetor was doing all the work.
Yeah, the Plague Scepter land beautiful there. Of course, if you go into the disciple of the Plague State, you can channel those Plague Scepters, sorry, Spectres, without actually having to channel them yourself. So you can place them down and it will channel them for you. You can move around and be safe with those. But these teams are definitely going to look for Abyssal Dragon as we see them both grouping out onto the bottom side of the map. Now Malik needs to find his way down at the bottom because otherwise Zenial's going to jump across the map.
It's so tricky for him though. Look how low his tower is, and you're right, he has to move quicker. That's a free tower for Flow, and I'm pretty sure if he commits to the push now, he could still join the fight at Abyssal Dragon after he's got the wave pushing against SK, but here comes the fight at the Abyssal Dragon.
Yeah, Malik is going to come in from the side. SK is going to take this one. Abyssal Dragon still being done by both of these teams. Vitality is going to initiate onto it. SK does pick up the Abyssal Dragon, and now Zenial has joined into the fight as well. Zutaro's low. Moon is dealing a lot of damage onto the backline. SK is trying to deal with that, and Moon's going to use Endure, but it's going to be perfectly placed by Poseidon. Blake Spectre going to come through, and there's Zutaro falling as well. Vitality have lost 3, and Redemption is the target of focus, the food for the cannon here as well, Vex is going to jump forward, but he's not going to get the kill. Poseidon launching forward with the flicker, doesn't pick up the kill as well. There's a triple kill for Redemption. Beautiful fight by Vitality nonetheless.
A little bit shaky with the pathing by Redemption there at the end. Shouldn't have gone through that bush and left himself open to Vex like that, making himself very vulnerable. Very fortunate and skilled to get himself out of that one. But we saw it. Flow, he got the wave in top lane, pushing against SK Gaming. And then once he got that wave in that state, he's like, right, okay, see you later. My work is done. Teleport into the fight. He's able to get there just in time. So that's the power of Zenial against the Malik. We saw how early Peach had to leave that lane, and it cost him a tower, which is actually worth more per player than the Dragon itself.
Yeah, that is definitely true. So if you take a tower, you get 130 gold. If you take Abyssal Dragon, you only get 80. Granted, Abyssal Dragon gives you the experience, but again, in terms of Team Vitality and the gold difference swinging either way, Team Vitality come out on top, at least gold-wise, because the fight went roughly equal there.
Yeah, and he's still applying that pressure in the top lane on that Zenial again, drawing Peach up there. Meanwhile, the rest of the attention is round mid lane. I believe that Redemption's actually going low right now. Light will shut him out of the fight as SK are going into the opposite side. He's been caught up by that lasso of truth. Zutaro going to finish him off. Vex using the defensive death from above to get himself to safety. And SK Gaming with a nice pick there, but they're not going to be able to capitalize too much on it because they lost Chaugnar in answer to it.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I was going to point out that Redemption is 4-0-2 before he does go down, so his positioning has been on point, and he's found the farm as well as the kills onto himself. So, and this is what you want from Violet as well, because Violet can scale out of control really quickly. We've seen it happen before in multiple occasions, so right now I think Vitality is coming out on stronger, even though SK has the better map, or Abyssal Dragon control, let's put it this way.
Well, considering the amount of resources they're funneling into Violet to enable her to do that, she has to perform at this point. Redemption has to perform come around to the late game. He's doing it so far, which is great with that scoreline. Like you said, he has to keep this up, though, with everything they're putting into him. Otherwise, they will just lose the game.
Well, they do have the team to actually keep doing this, because if you look at the defensive lineup that Vitality have, there's everything to defend Violet. There's Wonder Woman shield coming through with the ultimate. We have Flow with the damage reduction as well as the jump to sort of 15% heal onto your health. We have Azure who can push back people with the charge, as well as Avalon Sphere knock-up. Deals amount of CC that can really help Violet just navigate around these fights.
Zutaro just stole the Might Golem with the lasso of truth.
Yeah, Vex isn't happy about this.
No, absolutely not.
He went to fight, and it was a little bit of a bad one for him. SK is going to take this one. But Vitality's coming out on top right now. Zutaro's in the front line now. Flow is trading aggro for Zutaro. And meanwhile, Redemption just tactical fire after tactical fire is putting the poke down.
Yeah, it's just going to chip through this SK Gaming roster. The problem is they do have access to that level of poke through Poseidon on this Praetor, but it's not as frequent and it's easier, it's more telegraphed than what you get from Redemption. So it's definitely easier for Vitality to poke out SK than it is for SK to do the same to them. Albeit when SK lands that poke, it's so much more impactful.
Yeah, the Praetor poke from Plague Spectre definitely is gonna hurt a lot if you get hit by that, but of course you can see it coming. There's a channel time and that ability, so there's no way of ignoring the channel time. Disciple of the Plague State, the ultimate, does provide so you don't have to be there for the channel, but it's still you're still gonna see it coming.
Yeah, you will still see it coming. So, but that's the thing. You can apply that pressure and you can create that distraction, so it becomes a secondary thought in the back of their mind about dodging where that dragon's coming from, where that Plague Spectre is going to land. So that's the hope that you go into here. Redemption having to kite back as Nico's on the hunt. Will set up for Azure. Here come the ultimates in. Flow's going to join the fight, and it's been turned around with Nico very quickly as Moon and Redemption will finish him out. Flow with the malice to keep things together and try and allow time for the rest of Vitality to chase up. And now here comes the shot on from Peach onto Moon, onto Flow. Not enough. He will go down yet again. Vitality have lost no members of their team, while SK are in disarray.
Yeah, SK really crumbling here in game 2. It isn't looking as orchestrated as before from their side for sure. A lot of what seems like a communication error. We have Malak just jumping in without any backup there. Once again, being played by Pish. We had that problem last game as well, where Pish really dove under tower when it didn't make any sense. I mean, to me, it feels like communication errors more than anything, because we've seen SK at their best, and it's definitely not the skills that come into mind here. So I feel like SK need to just gather themselves and take a little bit of a breather from fighting and just gather their communication, get it down once again.
Beautiful taunt by Nico there to keep them all into the fight. Flow has jumped in, but there's no reinforcements on the side of SK Gaming. Peach isn't in the area, and if he ulted in now, it's going to be too late for him. Light, still alive, will limp away with a sliver of his health, and Vitality are still keeping control of this game. Light, no! You've been spotted out. You can't hide from the Moon.
Yeah, well, you can't hide from the lightning strike that was used there. But beautiful play by Moon, actually scouting out there. I don't know if he was scouting out. I guess he was chasing, as it looked like at least. He was chasing him for a long time there, and he did get the poke onto him, predicting the bush correctly there. Beautiful play. So they do get the kill and take their lead even further here with the Spirit Sentinel as well.
To be honest, it was an elephant. I don't think the elephant could hide in the bush. I mean, you'd spot it, like poking out with its head, with its trunk. I mean, they're all over the place. They're clumsy as well.
It depends on how long the bush is.
I mean, I don't think it's that long.
We're in Fantasy World. Those leaves could be huge. So we do have a fight actually now. Nico's gonna get pushed back, and Sutara is on the money as he's gonna take the kill there onto the backline. Sutara still tanking up the lane up of SK, and there's the ultimate from Zenyo gonna come through as well. Moon's taking a lot of damage. He has to be careful. There's the Endure Pop and the Avalon Fury as well. The knockback onto Light, putting him onto Redemption there. Vex is trying to find the fight onto Redemption. He's still chasing. The Death Rift is not gonna happen. Oh, he will find it back and forth there. Sutaro is gonna fall as well. Azure is gonna be on the run. Zenyo still up as well, but he doesn't have the ultimate. Vex as well as Pish are gonna chase this kill down. There's nowhere for Azure to hide because he's gonna go down and SK take a good fight.
You might be able to outrun a lot of heroes, but you cannot outrun not one, but two broken passives on these two heroes. Obviously, the damage resistance increase for Vex, for Zephyrus when his health gets lower, but when your blade is enchanted for Pish on this Malok, you're dealing true damage instead. Not only that, innately, Malok's passive, even if your blade is not enchanted, you have a longer range anyway. So, good luck trying to escape. He's cleaving every couple of seconds. His long-range auto attack's going to pop his Frost Cape to keep the slow going on. Throw into the mix that Vex has got one of his own as well. You're not escaping, you're not going to be able to kill him, and they're both hitting you like a truck. Good luck winning that 2v1.
Yeah, especially on Thane as well. It's not going to be a beautiful fight there, to say the least. But SK is turtling up wonderfully, as we've spoke so many times. SK had problem in early game a few times there, but now that they fixed the early game, well, it wasn't looking good for them in the early game. But once again, come mid-game, and we're talking about SK just bringing it back with good fights and good chases. So it is looking like a pattern, and at this point, it's too early to call the game, but SK is making a comeback, and if they're able to keep to keep taking these kills and pickoffs, it's going to go a long way in them making it back into this game. As Nico's going to put down a taunt. There's the shock onto 3, and Vitality need to run. Nico, for now, is going to fall low. He's going to run away from this fight, as for now, they're going to focus onto Vex, who's diving onto the backline. Beautiful communication from Vitality, taking this one down. Poseidon is being chased by Flow. Tara is fighting Nico. Redemption is trying to find the redeem kill there, as Pish is going to get nuked by Moon. Moon's low, and he is going to be able to take the kill. Another one before he goes down. SK have lost 3, and it's looking rather comboed. Light is going to go down as well. SK have lost 4 for their greediness out of everything.
Peach actually could have done more in that fight. As someone who plays a lot of Malok, he missed the cleave, which stopped his blade being enchanted. Because if you cleave and you don't hit an enemy hero, you lose your enchantment. Poseidon, I mean, he was going for the Hail Mary steal on the Darkslayer. He deserves every bit of damage he got there for that. But no, if Peach could have landed one of those cleaves and keep the enchantment up on his blade, he would have actually got sustain from his cleave up to 24%, considering the number of Vitality people who were there. He might have stayed alive a little longer and might have been able to take a couple of Vitality members with him, but unfortunately, like I said, the micro play of losing that enchantment is so huge in these games, and now they're paying a hefty price for it. Mid and top high ground towers have gone down for SK Gaming.
Yeah, Vitality is going to be able to split up the map now, because 2 of their lanes are naturally going to push this one out. But I have to say, last fight, SK just chased after chased after chased. They were trying to get the backline, it wasn't happening, and yet they kept going as they're trying to do now. SK is going to initiate in, and there's the shot going to come through from Pish. It lands only onto 1, and Vitality is going to take this fight. Moon finds the first kill onto Pish, who did dive a little too far. Nico is going to get taken down as well. Redemption to get that kill on Vitality. Suddenly find themselves 5 against 3 in this push.
I'm going to pick on Peach again. Yeah, like you said, aggressive shock. Not only that, he cleaved backwards, didn't hit any enemies, and then he ulted in. If he would have landed his first cleave, then ulted in, he would have had the sustain to potentially stay alive a little bit longer. Vex going very low.
Oh.
Thunderbird will not finish him off. Who cares at this point? Vitality on the core and tie this series 1 apiece.
What a fantastic series for semifinals.